Welcome everyone to Gamer Meld. Today we find out why 3090s have been bricking, Intel is readying their discrete gaming GPUs, AMD is doing something terrible, and Intel's 12th gen CPU pricing leaked, and it's bad news for AMD. Okay, it's news time, and first up for today, I have a follow-up to the story I did a little while back, where the New World MMO from Amazon was seemingly bricking RTX 3090 GPUs, with most of those being from EVGA. Luckily, the company was quick to offer replacements for any GPUs that died from the game. Well, it looks like we now know what happened, at least for the hardware side of things. Why this particular game seemed to be worse than others is tough to say. Regardless, according to an update from EVGA, after looking at the return cards under X-ray, they found the cause. Apparently, some GPUs during an early production run in 2020 were soldered poorly around the MOSFETs. Not only that, but according to EVGA, they only received a couple dozen cards, so not too many were affected. Still, it's good to know the actual culprit of the brick cards. But first, if you're looking for a top-of-the-line custom gaming PC that's hand-built by a professional, look no further than today's sponsor, Digital Storm. The veteran PC builders with over 20 years of experience, and it shows. From the emails they send documenting each stage of the build process to the seriously impressive packaging, Digital Storm knows what they're doing. Plus, they offer a ton of options for every enthusiast, from custom water cooling to even sleeved cables, and it's basically just plug and play. Digital Storm installs everything you need and tests it all out before shipping. Oh, and every build comes with lifetime support, 1-year parts warranty, and 3 years labor. So take the guesswork out of PC building by visiting the link in the description below. Next up, Intel is clearly gearing up to release their discrete gaming GPUs. Remember that their upcoming HPG cards are called ARC, with the first gen parts codenamed Alchemist. Well, in a new story from Hot Hardware, Intel revealed that the name is actually for a character, specifically this character right here, which they're clearly going to use for marketing. Not only that, but the other codenames Intel revealed during their architecture day also represent a character, which you can see here. One thing that was mentioned during a live stream with Hot Hardware and a couple of Intel's higher ups is that each codename goes in order of the alphabet. A. Alchemist, B. Battle Mage, C. Celestial, and D. Druid. I can't believe I didn't notice that. Either way, Intel's upcoming HPG GPUs are set to release early next year, so make sure you're subscribed to GamerMeld so you can get all the details as they're released. And next up for today, it looks like AMD could be going down a terrible path. If you saw my last video, you know that a crypto mining company just showed off a massive shipment of GPUs that they had received. Well, it looks like things could be about to get a whole lot worse. In a new tweet from the known leaker Kepler, he claims that AMD is planning to sell their RDNA 2 GPUs directly to miners. Now, he does mention that they're going to sell all of them, but he later clarifies that AMD is apparently planning to release headless SKUs of their entire RDNA 2 lineup. And this was just after a leak with images claiming to be AMD mining GPUs. You can see that they don't have any video out. Meaning, like Nvidia, AMD could begin producing GPUs specifically made for miners. But unlike Nvidia, these are apparently based on their newest architecture, which means any of the mining GPUs sold from AMD will take a GPU away from gamers. Of course, Nvidia has almost certainly sold a ton of their RTX 30 cards to miners as well, but if this is true, it's definitely not a good look for AMD. And to make matters worse, this would perfectly explain why AMD added a bunch of new RDNA 2 SKUs to Linux recently. Please tell me it's not true. Lastly for today, Intel's 12th gen CPUs, codenamed Alder Lake, are set for release very soon, and that means more leaks. So far, we've seen some performance leaks and specs. This time, we're finally starting to see pricing listed on retailers, and it could be terrible news for AMD. Starting things off, we have a tweet from resident leaker Momomo_US, and as you can see, he shared pricing from 3 different stores. Now, unfortunately, it's all in euros, but he includes an 11,900K to compare everything to. Either way, when we look at the 12,900K, we can see that one store actually gets as low as 540 euros without VAT, which may not sound that great, but hear me out. Remember that if the leaked benchmarks are right, Intel's 12,900K can beat AMD's Ryzen 5950X, which has an MSRP of a whopping $800. And sure, some of these prices are higher than 540 euros, but remember that early pricing is almost always way higher than MSRP because they're trying to make money off of early adopters. Not only that, but when we look at the 11,900K at the same store, it's just 10 euros less. And from what I've seen, that's the closest to the actual price of the 11,900K, meaning the 12,900K could be just a little more than last gen. Now, with that said, Momomo_US also shared some pricing that was found at a US retailer. And as you can see, the pricing is quite a bit higher. But remember that these are almost always far higher than the actual MSRP. Not only that, but even at these higher prices, the 12th gen parts still aren't bad at all. For example, the 12,900K is $705, but if it competes with the 5950X, that's $100 less. And the 12,900KF, which would technically be a better comparison to the 5950X because it doesn't include an iGPU, that brings the price down even more. And as we go down the list, the 12,700K should compete with the 5900X, yet it's cheaper, etc. Now, I'm sure some will mention that AMD is set to release their 5nm Zen 4 parts before long, but remember that Zen 3D will be releasing first. Zen 4 CPUs will likely come around the same time Intel releases their 13th gen parts. Basically, AMD had better bring the heat with their next gen parts or Intel could make a huge comeback. Either way, this competition is great for consumers. So while that does it for today, are you excited for Intel's 12th gen CPUs? And what do you think about Intel possibly making mining cards? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you liked the video, please subscribe. And as always, have a great day.